This is a blank page. The opportunities here are endless. Maybe it's your next book, the outline of your screenplay, your next ad campaign, or maybe it's a piece of art. Whatever it is, this blank page is your new beginning. It's whatever you want it to be. Wait, what's happening? What's going on? What happened to our blank page? Creatives who make a living putting thoughts and ideas on these blank pages have begun debating whether their existence will be displaced thanks to the latest threat to human creativity, ChatGPT, OpenAI's newest technological feat that allows users to submit any kind of prompt, which a bot then generates a human-like answer within seconds. It's the same company responsible for the wildly popular DALL-E 2 art generator that has artists fearful of what a blank canvas means now. Obviously, the subject of AI and how it relates to creativity is a vast and complicated topic. And because we don't have time to discuss all the intricacies in a single video, we'll speak to the written word and specifically ChatGPT. Now, instead of asking for an extension on those book chapters, can your publisher come up with a plot using AI? Can ChatGPT be the songwriter's ticket to stardom and Vanity Fair parties? Are the minds who penned Just Do It and ad campaigns that connect us to our purchases getting their pink slips any day now? Is the person writing this very video doomed?
Don't you mean extinct?
Is human creativity in jeopardy? Let's find out. Machines making jobs obsolete is nothing new. It's been happening for centuries. The printing press put scribes out of work, buttons put elevator operators out of work, and touchscreens have gradually replaced many in the fast food industry. Through it all, creativity has been left untouched, until now. To understand if we should all be worried, we talked to someone whose profession centers around the intricate play between creativity and the world.
I think it's hard to have a strong opinion now, because we don't know anything yet.
That's Ben Warheit. He's been a writer at Late Night with Seth Meyers since its inception in 2014. He's been nominated for 4 Emmys, which is 4 more than ChatGPT at the time of this video's publishing. So in an effort to balance things out and get ChatGPT a nod from the Television Academy, we prompted it to write monologue jokes in the style of Late Night with Seth Meyers. They were often long-winded, they all said, "But seriously, folks," and they lacked the one thing that's most important to keeping your job at one of these places: jokes. We read them all to Ben.
So, okay, first of all, it's not there's no jokes. It is kind of book report-ish. It sounds like something your mom would say at Thanksgiving, except for the mannerisms of Late Night, which is "But seriously, folks." That's and people don't say that anymore. That's 80s.
Okay, so points for humans. ChatGPT in its current state isn't going to take Ben's job yet. But what about all the other creative jobs? When we asked ChatGPT to write a hit pop song about losing a loved one in the style of Taylor Swift, it came through. It was a little cliche and used a lot of predictable rhyming schemes, but give that thing to a professional music producer to punch up and who knows, maybe it'd be a hit. What about a Hollywood screenplay? When we asked ChatGPT to write a script about a basketball player who falls in love with a referee in the style of Paul Thomas Anderson, it gave us a pretty impressive and gripping outline that would probably be enough for any budding screenwriter to make work. Obviously, there's more creative jobs out there for the taking, and if we want to stay one step ahead, we'll need to better understand the enemy at hand. So we went straight to the source and asked ChatGPT if it has any advantages over human thought. It listed 5: speed, consistency, scale, memory, and language understanding. But of course the AI would tell us it has the edge. That's just textbook confidence. Respect.
There's a lot of people saying, this spells the end of writing as a skill in society.
That's James Vincent. He's a senior reporter at The Verge, and his reporting on technology and AI specifically is extensive.
Who's going to write if they can get ChatGPT to write it for them?
ChatGPT has already been hired by various places to write articles and BuzzFeed quizzes at breakneck speed for no pay. One popular news site, CNET, hired ChatGPT to write nearly 80 stories. However, half of them were littered with errors, and the site paused further use of the tool. When we called on ChatGPT to write an essay on the importance of friendship using quotes from the characters of Jurassic Park, it misattributed 2 of the 4 quotes it provided and completely made up one of them. Not to mention the essay was, not very good.
You'll have to get used to Dr. Malcolm.
It can definitely get the ball rolling when it comes to school assignments, legal agreements, and advertising slogans, but we shouldn't just let it cook, as the kids say.
Is that AI tends to replace tasks. It doesn't necessarily replace entire jobs. It's going to help make certain tasks faster. This is going to be a fantastically useful form of technology, and we're going to see it in all sorts of places. It may be integrated into search engines, for example, to help you better research topics. One prediction is it's going to look like a supercharged Clippy. You know, everyone remembers Clippy. You're writing a letter. It says, hey, I see you're writing a letter. Can I help with that? What if ChatGPT starts doing that instead and says, hey, I see you're writing a letter. I wrote it for you already.
For now, it sounds like ChatGPT and other technologies could be used as tools to help with writer's block, or even as a way to bounce ideas off a collaborator who doesn't know why they're saying what they're saying. If the stakes are as low as Clippy with a glow-up, I think most of us would happily take that. It could be very helpful and save us tons of time. ChatGPT is a mechanism that redefines how we access information. AI will undoubtedly transform how we access information, what we're able to do with it, and on what timescales. This could be groundbreaking for how we work. Communicating knowledge and thought creatively, on the other hand, requires instinct. One thing AI can't do, by definition, is imitate the unconscious, animalistic side of our brains, the non-intelligent intelligence. This is the territory of the irrational and subconscious. It's the empathy mechanism that would have us side with people who look like us, even when they're in the wrong. It's the skeptical impulse which prompts us to ask of any knowledge we encounter, who is telling me this and why should I believe them? It's also the side of us that can be emotionally moved by the source and context of information. AI has yet to prove that it can code emotion, character, and personality to actually persuade anyone of the human logos it's learned to imitate. The creators of this sophisticated technology have achieved something brilliant, but they haven't ended humanity's defining and most valuable achievements, knowledge and art. We can ask our machines to play with these and imitate us as much as they want, but they'll never be better at being us. Ben summed it up the best.
You have to synthesize everything that's going on in the world in order to connect with people. And it's about people. It's about connection. It's not just about baiting and switching. You have to be in tune with humanity, I think. I hope.